I'm Eyal, and I'm from Bellator Israel Facebook page, and with me is Mr. David Green. Hello, David.
Hey, how's it going?
He's the Bellator Europe head. He's the president of Bellator Europe, and he's here for Bellator 234 in Israel. I wanted to ask him some questions. First one is what your expectations from the huge fights tomorrow, the huge event.
Well, we've got an amazing card, as you know, but it's our fourth time here back in Tel Aviv, so we're really excited about it. You know, I think I was here last year and the atmosphere was incredible. You've got a really knowledgeable crowd here. I think, you know, they real cheer, submission to the cheer, everything. So I think it's going to be a really good night, and hopefully, if it's as good as last year, I'll be very happy, and I'm sure it'll be even better.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, last year was amazing, and this year it will be amazing too. A huge main event, a huge fights, big names, legends like Haritonov. And do you have something to announce about Israel next year?
Well, we've got a habit of announcing very early for Israel. I think it's one of the shows we do every year where we put it very early into the calendar. But expect some news very soon about that, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I want to talk about the Bellator Europe's European series. This is one of the best events. Every time there is a European series event, it's a blowout event. All of the world is talking about. I want to ask you, last year you did in Europe 6 events. Now, what is the plan for next year?
Yeah, so as you said, this is our first year of doing the Bellator Europe events. So we've got London next week, which will be our 6th event of the year. So really pleased about that. I think we've done some really good events, as you say. We've got Newcastle, Birmingham, Dublin. Next year, we're looking to do at least 8 events. So hopefully even more. So we'll be announcing some events very soon.
Oh, that's great. So you're going to expand and you do more than 6, 8, or maybe more. So, and you will be in new places that you've never been before.
Yes, that's the plan. The plan is to go into new places, certainly within mainland Europe. You know, we're looking in the Netherlands, Scandinavia, all sorts of places like that.
Oh, that's terrific news for Europe. More Bellator events. And I know there is lots of buzz on Bellator because all the big fighters are coming. Lots of huge signings lately by Bellator Europe, and your crew did the amazing job. You signed James Haskell, the rugby player from England, right? And Soren Bach that came as a huge star in Europe MMA. What do you say about the growth of the roster in Bellator Europe in your cards? What is the plan?
Well, as you can see, that's 2 really good examples. I think you've got someone like Soren, who's won in lots of other promotions in Europe, so he's coming up into Bellator, stepping up and going to take on some of our main guys. It's a really exciting fight next week, him and Terry Brazier. I think that should be excellent, sitting there right on the main card. And, you know, he's a really good guy, really good fighter, so we're expecting some great things. And James Haskell, yeah, we've been working on that for a while. I think that's just a really interesting signing. You know, he's a big profile in the UK, and he's on all sorts of TV shows and everything else, and he's an elite athlete. So he's hoping to transition. He's been training for a long time with London Shoot Fighters, so we're expecting his first fight at the beginning of next year. So that'll be really, really exciting. So
wow, that's an amazing news. And you now said about London. You reminded us all the huge event in London next week, right? 26th in November.
22nd.
Yeah, and 23rd, yeah. And this fight, there is lots of fights there. Terry Brazier, as you said, with Soren Bach, and you have a huge main event. Michael Page, after his last win, is coming to his home turf in London, and he's going to fight Derek Anderson, a great striker. And we have Shipman and Fabian Edwards and Michael Shipman. So what do you say about these fights? How is the buzz to get this event, to this huge event?
Well, MVP's a huge star globally and, of course, in London. And his gym, London Shoot Fighters, just down the road from Wembley Stadium. So it's very much a home game for him. It's a home fight, so he'll have huge support. And Mike Shipman's a teammate of his at a London shoot, so they will be really, fighting hard and fighting a local event. They'll have a huge support. But you got someone like Fabian Edwards, who that fight has been waiting to happen for about 2 years. Lots of electricity around that fight, and everyone's waiting to see that fight. It should be really, really exciting.
Yeah, that fight with the Shipman and Edwards is talked about for many years, from the early days, and now it's finally going to happen. And the beef between them is amazing, and lots of buzz on this fight. And I think everyone in the world and in Europe, in the UK, are just waiting to see what's going on. And it will be a huge, huge event. Next thing I want to ask you, today we talked about the European series. I want to know if Bellator Israel will be part maybe from the European series or like the normal events.
Well, I mean, I'd love to have it as part of the European series. We had Eurovision Song Contest in Tel Aviv, so why not have, Bellator Europe as part of the Tel Aviv as part of that show? But it's down to Scott. That's Scott's decision, really. I think we'll make our mind up about that soon, and whether or not we make it more integrated into the European series or not. I mean, look, maybe we do more than one event in Tel Aviv. That would be the goal, hey?
Yeah, that would be fantastic, and really, that's great news and great things. The Bellator is expanding all over the world, and now Bellator Europe, what you're head of, is just getting bigger every day, and everyone wants to come to Bellator. So that's a huge news for everyone, and maybe do more than one event in Israel. That's fantastic. I have a final question for you. Is there anything else you want to say to all the Israeli fans here of Bellator?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you for all your support. We really enjoy coming here. It's a fantastic place to come and do a show, and we appreciate you coming along to the event.
Thank you very much, David Green. It was an honor to interview you.
Thank you very much.